Hi, Bonbon here. It's the Dev Diary live stream, and hopefully we'll have a steady stream that won't actually crash out this week. Hi to everybody who's watching. Well, we got just 4 viewers at the moment. I'm sure a few people will jump in as we go along. We'll be following the same format and rules as we have done the last few episodes, last few weeks as well, where we'll take a little look at the accompanying video. We'll have a read through everything. We'll use the chat to discuss what we find, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, if there's anything we don't like. Having had a read through of the Dev Diary, I find it starts off a little bit mundane, a little bit telling us what we know we're going to get, but there are 1 or 2 little chirps of special information as you get down towards the bottom. So don't think there's nothing. There is stuff. It's not a huge amount of great revelation, but it's definitely stuff that I think if you're a regular Cities Skylines player, you're going to be pretty interested in. So that's good stuff. You know, there's some good stuff. Hi, come on, let's see some chat. I just want to know I'm not busy talking to myself. So yeah, if you just say hi in the chat so I know who's here, that would be great. Thank you very much. Right, so okay, so the link to the Dev Diary is in the video description. If you want to read this for yourself in your own time or watch the video in your own time, then the link is there. So there we go. Right, so development diary number 3, cargo, public and cargo transportation. Signed off by Ivania. Love Ivania, and that was at 4 o'clock European time, 3 o'clock our time. Hi, Chris. Glad to have you along. Hi, Matthew. Oh, you're going? Cheerio. Bye, Matthew. Never mind. Oh, they're going already. Right, okay. So, where were we? So, what we have, I think we'll lead with the video, yeah? We'll lead with the video. I'll see if I can make sure that we have it aligned properly on the screen so you can see it. Oh, that looks about right to me. So, yeah, we'll give this a little play. And then when we get to the end, we'll read through everything that I've just skimmed over there, right? Good. Off we go.
Transport networks set the rhythm of life in your city. As they move people and cargo, they can create harmony and discord. This finely tuned orchestra of ships, vehicles, planes, and trains is yours to conduct. To create a thriving metropolis, maintain a steady beat to keep your city in motion. You build a city from scratch in Cities Skylines II. No public transport, no tracks, no runways. Creating these and other transportation networks is a crucial first step. After that, improving and integrating them paves the way for expansion. When you establish your city, citizens can take the bus or a taxi to get where they're going. These are the first transport options you'll unlock. They're reliable, cheap, and easy to route here, there, and everywhere. Traffic conditions are their Achilles heel. It's no big deal in a new metropolis, but it is for a growing city. That's when you'll level up your public transport. Think trains, trams, and subways. Each one has pros and cons. They're all expensive to build and complicated, requiring depots, tracks, and stops where passengers can buy tickets and get on and off. That means they can't offer the far-reaching service of a bus line or the door-to-door service of a taxi. On the other hand, they're more efficient, not least because they carry more people and cargo and reduce road congestion. Let's start with subways. They're fast, high capacity, and they take up very little room when they're underground. If they operate above ground, you can run them on elevated tracks so they don't get tangled up with road traffic. Trams. They're more flexible than trains, so you can more easily add lines to service new and expanded neighborhoods. Build tram tracks on existing roads, or run them on dedicated tracks if that's the best way to keep the hustle and bustle dialed up. Trains carry loads of people too, and not just suburbanites. They can bring visitors from outside your city in large numbers. Trains play another critical role as cargo transport. Build a cargo train terminal, and you build a hub where businesses can receive, ship, and store incoming and outgoing goods. Water transportation is another option for passenger travel and moving cargo. It's another high-capacity network, though water transport's real potential lies in imports and exports. You see, cargo ships might be slower than trains, but these bad boys can carry 1,000 tons of stuff to and from your city. Yeah, that's right. You can trade with other cities. So you'll need somewhere to house all the goods and resources coming and going. Easy. Like cargo train terminals, cargo harbors double as cargo storage facilities. Like all of the other networks, air transportation has drawbacks. Planes carry fewer passengers and less cargo than ships and trains. Airports are also astronomically expensive and have the footprint of a small town. However, air transport has a pretty irresistible advantage: speed. Plus, planes won't add to road congestion, they don't follow a rigid track, and they make outside connections incredibly easy. The transport mix in your city will become complex and intricate. Use the transportation overview to review passenger and cargo transportation networks separately. Filter again by transport type to see high-level details about individual lines and toggle them on or off. Use the transportation info view to understand the impact of your networks. Plan and manage transportation networks carefully to find the right tempo for the movement of people and cargo. Conduct it perfectly, and every citizen, trader, and tourist will march your city toward greatness.
And that is that. So, few takeaways from that was, did you notice the water texture? Very sexy. The clouds moving in the sky, very nice as well. Other than that, I don't think that video tells you a huge amount. There are some snippets in the dev diary, which we'll read through in a moment, but I don't think the video really whets the appetite a huge amount. It's stuff that we're expecting, mostly. One or two bits in there, just one or two. Right, let's have a look at the chat. Yeah, sorry, you're an American. You should be sorry for being American. Who's narrating the dev video? I don't know for sure. But and this is a YouTuber that I saw some of their work a long while ago. And I think they've got connections with Paradox. Have a look for Few Candy. I'm not saying it is them, but if I had to guess, with zero research whatsoever, I would say it could be Few Candy. I'm probably massively wrong. Maybe it's a professional voiceover artist. I don't know. Ask Paradox. Anyway, hi Anapu, good to have you here. No blimp. Oh, not just the blimp that's missing from the beginning. There is one item of transport that actually I'm a little bit put off about. And I know that it's going to be released, but it'll be released as part of DLC, and I consider this an essential. So, no, it was released as a DLC last time, but bicycles. Bicycles are not coming with the game launch. I know they came very early with After Dark. I know they came with After Dark last time, but juggling things about, I think this is just a perfect opportunity to lead with bicycles, and then give us some of the sexy vehicles later on, you know. But there we go, you know. So no blimp, no queue of 799 people for 35 places. Only 799 people, eh? Hi name. I wonder if ships category includes ferries. I don't think they do. From what I've seen so far, it appears that the ships are what we're used to as being ships. So there. Also, if anybody notices the stream cutting out, let me know in the chat ASAP. If we lose the stream, I will restart the stream. Okay. If you notice, it shows more control on bus stop location. Yeah, I had spotted that actually. I think they want to get it super right. Well, they could have delayed the launch by a few months. Hi, Jürgen. Excuse me. Hi, Jürgen. Good to have you along. Bicycles count as cargo on tourist networks. Oh, Matthew. They count as Netherlands transports. That's what it is. But anyway, yes. Yeah, I think bicycles should have been included from the off. And then, I mean, I would have been quite happy to have waited for trams. I like trams. I think trams are a worthy addition, but surely bicycles should have been a lead. But never mind. Never mind. Anyway, hi everyone. Let's do a quick read through. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cities Skylines II development diary. Today we're going to take a look at the public and cargo transportation options available for you when you build that dream city of yours. An integral part of a city's inner workings is its functioning public transportation system. In a fledgling city, the citizens can be transported by buses and taxis as the city grows. You are able to invest in other transportation systems such as tram and subway networks. Passenger trains can also serve local traffic if you're willing to sacrifice building space for the large train stations. I would like small suburban stations. Maybe they'll be released as extra DLC. I think we're going to see this milked, don't you? I think we're going to see this milked. Of course, workshop. Come on, class. Get working, class. We need stations. Anyway, buses, trains, ships and airplanes transport passengers between cities, bringing new citizens and tourists to your city. This is stuff that we know, right? But I'm going to read it anyway. Buses use road connections while buses use road connections. No, they go across country. Right. While trains need to be connected between city and the existing train infrastructure on the map. So that's an interesting statement. Trains need to be connected between the city and the existing train infrastructure on the map. So not just an outside connection, but existing rail lines. Okay. Ships are particularly useful on maps with large open waters connected to the edge of the map. Duh. While airplanes connect the city to the rest of the world through an airport. Has anybody got an egg that they want sucking? Because Paradox wants us to suck eggs here, right? Transportation also includes cargo transport, where companies order resources through delivery trucks and vans to support the local industries and commercial companies. You can set up cargo lines using trains, ships and airplanes that, in conjunction with trucks, keep industry's wheels turning. Check out the quick overview in the video below. We've seen that already before diving into the details. But yes, look, okay, I know it's teaching us to suck eggs, but also search engine algorithms. If you're searching for, airplanes, airports, we've got keywords here. I'm sure this is just so that it pops up on Google when people search for these things. Bikes are definitely a traffic killer in CS1. Love them. Yep. Notice many glitches in the video. Well, I have too, but you know me. And I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt because we are 16 weeks away from game launch. That's plenty of weeks to sort out some glitches. I'm sure there will still be glitches at game launch, and probably many of those that we're seeing now. But I'm not going to criticise at this point. We're lucky they're even showing us anything or telling us anything. So I'm thankful for what we're getting. Right, what's the chances that Paradox incorporates space tourism to finally make use of Chirpex space shuttles? Matthew, get out. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, hi Chris. Maybe with rebikes they want us all to wonder and watch us squirm and then surprise us when it releases with bikes. Do you know what? Maybe they will do that. I don't believe they will, but maybe they will. Right, okay. Public transport types. More sucking of eggs follows. Buses unlock first and form the backbone of the city's public transport network in the early game. So, buses, day one, you get them. They are a tried and true method, cheap and flexible, even though they are very much affected by road conditions of the city, because buses run on roads, right? Buses require the bus depot for periodic maintenance and come in two flavours: traditional fuel operated buses and environmentally friendly electric buses. To use electric buses in your city, you will need to update the bus depot to maintain them. So we've seen about these building upgrades that you're going to be able to get with power stations, and all of these little service buildings will have different upgrades. Will cost money, but once you've done this to your bus station, you'll be able to have electric buses. This is it's a nice little thing. Lots of nice little things. I've got to say, I appreciate these. I really do. In addition to serving the populace locally, buses can also transport passengers from outside connections, and you are able to create intercity bus lines once you build the bus depot. It's that guy with his bloody stupid motorbike again, isn't it? Ah, God, he drives me nuts. Anyway, so yeah, intercity, and we'll be able to set up intercity bus lines, which is something we had to wait a long time for. I've got to say, I would still rather have push bikes than intercity bus lines from the off, but at least we're getting something. Intercity buses can stop at the bus station, or they can drop off and pick up passengers from one or more regular bus stops. Now, I really like this. So, yes, bus depot, which is the main bus station, I guess. That makes a lot of sense for intercity. But also, having sort of, you've got some smaller town hub areas on the way in. So if you've got your main downtown, then you have a secondary shopping area, and then a suburban drop-off area. Maybe having 3 major bus stops, regular bus stops, along the line where the intercity buses can drop off for people to switch across to local buses. I think it's nice that intercity buses can actually stop at regular bus stops. I like that. I've got to say, the images are crisp and clean, and just, again, there's still some way to go. But I'm liking him. Anyway, I'm not going to read you the captions for the images because, again, it's pretty much already covered in the full text. Hi, Sim Shady. I've been watching for years. Love your work. Just wanted to holler. Hi, Sim. Didn't even know you existed. But really glad that you're about. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Matthew, new idea for disasters: unruly motorcycle gangs. The guy who goes past on that motorbike, I've known him for, well, I don't know him. I couldn't give you his first name, but he knows mine, as like through business. But as he's a customer, an occasional customer. I've known him for like 25, 30 years. He's advancing in years, and I think we should allow him to have a big ass stupid motorbike. Why not? He won't be riding it for too many more. Certainly one more decade at most, I imagine. Right, anyway. Taxis. Yes, let's crack on. Taxis are a staple in most cities, and that is also true in Cities Skylines II. Now, we had to wait a long time for taxis last time as well, and it's one that I'm really glad is from the off. Almost makes up for no push bikes, I think. Hi, Cake Boy. Okay, so taxis operate on a similar logic to personal vehicles, able to transport passengers to where they need to go. And in the early game, taxis also bring new citizens to the city who don't have their own personal vehicle. That's a nice touch. That is a very nice touch. Taxis are an extremely flexible public transport option, as they don't require lines to operate. However, they are low capacity. Well, duh. 30 people in a taxi. They are low capacity, contribute to the city's traffic congestion, and are also held back by it. Yes, get lots of traffic, get taxis stuck in there, adds to more traffic, and so on. The cycle goes on and on and on. But yes, taxis from the off, we knew about them anyway from Dev Diary number 1, I think. Anyway, add a taxi depot to your city to provide citizens with taxis. I like the depot. I think the sign on the top there is a bit overkill, but it's not so much overkill that I couldn't live with it. It's fine. Okay, taxis require a taxi depot for maintenance, but before upgrading the taxi depot, taxis can only pick up passengers from the taxi stand. With the dispatch centre upgrade, another one of those building upgrades that we already know about anyway, but it's the first time we've seen it called a dispatch centre upgrade, there are no limits for picking up fares in the city. The taxi service can be expanded by replacing some taxis with electric taxis, reducing noise and air pollution caused by the service. This is done by upgrading the taxi depot to support electric taxis. So there's two of the taxi depot upgrades. One to have a dispatch centre, a radio mast, I guess, and then one to support electric taxis. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Right, okay, so moving on from taxis, we have trains. Oh, they're going to have trains in the game, who knew? Trains carry large amounts of passengers and cargo, and while their infrastructure size makes them better suited for intercity transport, they can be used locally as well. To create train lines, you first need to build a rail yard. Now, rail yards are basically going to be like depots. This time, trains will need to have depots, rail yards, which sends out and maintains your trains and connect it to the tracks. Trains naturally require tracks. Duh. Here's another egg. Have another egg to suck on. Trains naturally require tracks to run on, and building a train infrastructure is a high initial expense, but due to their transport capacities, they more than make up for the initial cost over time. Yes, trains are naturally expensive. Our government's been trying to build a main train line through the country called HS2, High Speed 2. Billions. I think the initial estimate was of like 2 billion, and it's like we're up into the hundreds of billions now. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hi, Aaron. Hiya, how you doing? Good to have you along. Right, so here is a rail yard. That looks really nice, doesn't it? Let me wheel that up a little bit. There you go. That looks really nice. And look at the smoke particle effects here coming out of these chimneys. That's a huge improvement from what we used to. I mean, we're going to be seeing lots of improvements from what we're used to. We're still going to be like talking about, oh, where's all the traffic on the roads? Where's all the, we're seeing lots of parked cars. Where's all the traffic on? So there's going to be people talking about those things. Let's talk about what we can appreciate at the moment. I'd say I don't work for Paradox. I don't support Paradox. I'm well allowed to say whatever I bleeding well like. And if I think this is the worst thing in the world, I can say so. I'm not being held up on an NDA or anything like that. I can give my genuine, honest opinion. I'm liking what I see here. Yes, there's stuff. There is stuff that I think we're going to want more of when the game launches, but this is good. Hi, Chris. The train tracks you mentioned being built, I believe the government is using software that... Oh, well, there you go. Software that Chris's employer develops. So I'm going to blame your company, Chris. I'm not. I'm blaming the British government. They just... rearrange the words brewery and piss up. Yeah. And not being able to organise one. Awful. Just awful. Matthew Stein is onto something. DLCs should have behavioural changes, kind of like Diaries in SimCity 2014. Do you know what? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, super complex train lines, definitely something to get excited about. Right, cracking on. Train infrastructure allows you to create two-way and double tracks, as well as one-way train tracks. No need for a bloody penguin mod. Elevated tracks, bridges, tunnels, and cut and fill tracks. They're making a big thing about cut and fill. Okay, I know that the what's the word I'm looking for? The terraforming model that they're using. to make cut and fill is way better than Cities Skylines 1. But is it so much that we have to keep referring to cut and fill tracks? I don't know. Right, anyway, tunnels and cut and fill tracks running lower than the ground level. Trains and other rail transports are able to drive backwards and forwards. So that's good. That's different. And thus they can utilise track switches created by combining two-way and double train tracks. Stations also feature pre-built tracks, which creates track switches automatically when tracks are connected to them, regardless of track type. Well, to be fair, this last sentence, Cities Skylines 1 had that. If you had a standard station at the end of a track, the train would pull in and then it would pull out onto the other side. This isn't really anything. There's a lot of nothings going on in these statements, a few little snippets. There's some good stuff further down, as they say. Right, so rolling down, again, another really nice image. So this is the standard rail station, I imagine. I like the model. It's fine. I'd like to see some smaller models as well. So if this was a medium station, and then we could obviously have larger stations for termini, and smaller, almost provincial, almost halts, what we would call halts in the UK, where it's basically nothing much more than like a desk where you just like, yeah, take me money, and you jump on the train. Right, Tram. Tram is a relatively flexible, light rail option when expanding the public transport network in the growing city. Tram tracks can utilise already built roads by adding tram tracks to them and using the replace tool. Or tracks can be built separately, running on the terrain and thus bypassing traffic altogether. So basically what we know already. Right, nothing new, nothing exciting there. But there we go. This is a great scene. Again, just got the little red tram there in the middle of the picture. Seeing the row houses look really, really, really very nice indeed. I've got to say, I love the row houses. They look really cool. And the gardens as well. There's a variety of gardens going on here. So yeah, I mean, it's just a really nice image. Love it. Right, now, bit of info here. Hi Aaron again. Don't think we'll get keys because we'll be using the cut and fill with pavement. Oh yeah. Yes, a thought. Keys, I mean, I'm sure they'll come. It'll be DLC. Or DLC. Right, okay. A tram depot which sends out and maintains a tram fleet is required to set up a tram network. So more depots. Again, though, we are used to tram depots in Cities Skylines 1. The initial cost of a tram network is higher than setting up a fleet of buses, but the upside is that trams are quiet and do not pollute the air. That's the upside. There's also the downside of if you lay them down on a road and you decide you don't want them on that road, you're going to be spending money downgrading and upgrading. So yeah, I mean, there are ups and downs to trams. I've got to say, I do love them though. Trams can be built in the same manner as roads and train tracks. They feature one-way tracks and double tram tracks and can be built as elevated tracks, so up in the air, bridges, cut and fill tracks and tunnels. There's no mention of, I did see somebody ask somewhere, would there be underground tram stations? I don't think I want that, but elevated tram stations, I think, especially if you're doing something like a New York City build, you're going to want some elevated stations, so that would be nice. Subway, I fancy a sub right now actually. Okay, I will survive. Right, Subway is a fast, high capacity local public transport option. The initial investment in the rapid transport infrastructure is high because digging tunnels is expensive, but due to its speed, it is a popular transport choice for many citizens who value their time when making path-finding calculations. While the subway can be built above ground and even on elevated tracks, very nice, elevated subways, well there you go. Better an elevated subway than an elevated tram. Why was I saying tram in New York? What an idiot. Anyway, yes, elevated subways. The biggest draw is how little room it takes up when being built underground. The underground stop entrance itself is quite compact, which we're used to. They fit nicely between other buildings without taking up much space. And we have one such subway entrance here, which is not completely dissimilar to what we're used to seeing. Not my favourite model, I've got to be honest, of everything I've seen so far, but it's okay. And yes, I think there are smart cars in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I expect they're going to be populating the traffic with extra vehicles as we get closer. That's one of the easiest things to do, is traffic, different models. You only need enough in there to test the game, and that is fine. Right, so similar to trains, the subway requires a subway yard. So again, we've got a subway depot to supply trains for the lines. Subway uses exclusive tracks, and passengers can access the trains from underground and overground stations. So they will be wombling free. The UK viewers will get what I'm talking about. Everybody else will wonder what I'm talking about. But anyway, so we have underground and overground subway stations. Very nice. Elevated would be good as well. And like other types of rail, you can build double subway tracks and one-way tracks with options for elevated and cut and fill tracks, as well as bridges and tunnels. Subway and tunnels. Awesome find about the smart cars, BonBon. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 in there, I think. Oh, those. Right, anyway. Water transportation features both passenger and cargo options. Nothing new there. Ships can transport a high number of passengers both inside the city and to and from outside connections. Now that might actually, were you talking about ferries? You can from and to. So it looks like the old big ships can be used internally. Intercity water transport requires access to map edges by seaways and connecting the harbours to those seaways. Again, nothing new there, but it does look like we can. I take back what I said earlier about ferries. I think that this statement pretty much confirms we have got a form of ferry. I don't think they're ferries, but I think they are some sort of ferry service. There we go. A passenger harbour is a great addition to any waterfront city. Well, duh. There's so much well, duh going on. Right. Where's the monorail? Yeah. And the blimp. Give Annapu his blimp. Right, air transportation is a fast intercity option for both passengers and cargo. The planes carry relatively small amounts of passengers and cargo compared to ships and trains, but what they lose in capacity, they make up for in speed. Airports require a large amount of room to be built, the international airport being the size of a small town. Exclamation mark. Depending on how many air transport lines are created, they can also generate a lot of traffic between the city and the airport. When placing an airport, you can see the projected landing and takeoff zones at the ends of the building, giving you an approximation of where limitations to zoned building heights are applied. This is the first thing that actually is a little bit more interesting. Okay, so airports kind of know. Big airports kind of expect. Don't think there's any word of inter-map air routes. So can we have an air route from suburban mini field up to the international airport? I don't know. Don't think so. But when you place an airport, you see the projected landing and takeoff zones at the ends of the building, giving you an approximation of the limitations to zoned building heights. because you don't want to have a skyscraper at the end of your runway. Looking at the original video at the start of this show, the actual takeoff angle is a lot more believable as well. Same ridiculousness as with passenger blimps, passenger helicopters. I'm loving this. Redoing your hi. I'll catch up with the chat in a second. I'll just get to the end of this. So yes, so my thoughts there are I'm liking that you have to consider what goes on at the end of your runway, especially like I say, if you've got a 747 landing over your roof, like 5 feet over your roof. Not really something most of us would want. Airports limit the height of buildings in the landing and takeoff zones to avoid collisions. Here you go. I said I wouldn't read these, but that one pretty much sums up what I just said. And again, the takeoff and landing angles far more believable. The empty car park, not so. Not so. This is an airport. Come on, where are all the people? Right, so where were we? Monorail. Bring back passenger helicopters. You're redoing your ATL map from 2015 now that the game won't keep changing and breaking your work. Hoping it the problem with my map lists is they're kind of winding down now. The only reason why I'm maintaining the weekly Watt map, which is now as a stream, just because I'd rather do a 40-minute stream than spend 3 hours editing. It's simple as that. It's winding down. It's winding down. All the top map makers are kind of like either on their last map or have finished doing the last maps. We're seeing a lack of depth of quality on the workshop. So yeah, this is why I'm doing the top 100 maps of all time. If there is a top 100 map of all time in the next few months, great, but it won't be considered. But there we go. Anyways, how will Teddy make his awesome bridges without monorails? Oh, Mav, you are mean. Well, he did find new tricks, but still, yes, yeah, good old Teddy. I love Teddy's work. Right, air transport lines don't require additional infrastructure other than the airports themselves. The airports are connected to outside connections with the line tool, and the airplanes start travelling on the lines once they are created. So there's no hints there to say that we're going to have cross-map air services. But given that map doesn't appear to be that much bigger, I mean, bigger than 9 tiles, but not so much bigger than us modded players are used to. Do we really want cross-city airports? Maybe. Somebody will. Right, cargo. Who have we got in? Earl of AI. Hello, Earl of AI. Good to have you here. Right, cargo types. Okay, let's start talking cargo. In addition to delivery trucks and vans, cargo trains are the backbone of a resource transportation on land. Nothing we didn't know there. Once a cargo train terminal is built, companies can use it as a storage point for incoming and outgoing cargo. Even with no cargo lines, companies ordering resources can use the station's storage facilities to drop off and pick up resources and goods. The facility working like a distribution centre. So this is like a hint of Industries DLC with warehouses and that kind of malarkey. So yeah, we've seen words of cargo lines before in previous dev diaries. We're just talking now about the stations having storage facility, which is, I guess, realistic and good to see. To start receiving cargo trains, you'll need to set up a cargo train line similar to how passenger train lines work. Trains then haul resources from the outside connections to the terminal, where they are stored until local delivery trucks pick them up for distribution within the city. Similarly, companies send their goods to the terminal as it is cheaper and faster to ship goods on trains than it is to haul them to the outside connections by trucks. So yeah, expect your train, your cargo haulage areas to be very busy indeed. Right, another image for us to ooh and ah at. I did see somebody complaining about the yellow lights. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I mean, maybe these would be toned down. I don't mind them too much, actually, in terms of the amount of brightness coming out of them. It's probably a bit too bright. I know it looks like we're probably heading into dusk here, but yeah, it's probably a bit too bright. But I don't mind them. I don't mind them. I've seen worse, such as Cities Skylines 1. Right, so next up is due to large amounts of resources being transported to and from the terminal, it can generate a lot of truck traffic. Therefore, it is crucial to prioritise the road connections to the terminal to avoid traffic jams. More eggs of sucking. Okay. Just, have you ever played Cities Skylines before? Well, we're telling you it's going to be more of the same. Now, this next bit is interesting. Cargo ships can carry huge amounts of cargo. 1,000 tons. Does that mean we're going to have cargo measured in tonnage? It'd be curious. It'd be very, very curious. Or whether that is just a statement of fact. I'm hoping that we'll have some sort of breakdown in cargo weight and the amount of storage in tons that different warehouses can hold, that kind of thing. Anyway, they are slower than trains. Again, duh. But are not held back by high traffic on the roads because cargo ships, strangely enough, go over water. Cargo harbours can also store resources and goods to be further distributed, similar to cargo train terminals. So, again, nothing really groundbreaking there, but nice little additions and a little bit, let's say, a little nod towards the industry's DLC. Cargo harbours also generate a lot of traffic as delivery vehicles offload the cargo ships and carry the resources into the city. Furthermore, the cargo harbour can be enhanced with a railway connection, allowing trains to transport cargo directly to and from the harbour. Now, this to me sounds like one of the building upgrades, rather than putting a train line nearby or a cargo hub. It looks like the actual cargo harbour will have an upgrade to a train hub within the cargo itself, and that'd be good to see. That'd be very, very good to see. So yeah, that's something else to look forward to. Another great image. I say great image, I take back the word great image. What I like about this, the water textures I'm loving. We've got obviously a lot of it's showcasing the storage, the containers in storage, and I imagine as this fills up we get more and more containers building up. The ship here with all the containers on it looks pretty neat. Waterfront just doesn't quite feel, I don't know, there's no magic here, but we do have this key. The key looks good. I'm not feeling the magic on this. I don't need to feel the magic on every image. It's a good image, but yeah, just not feeling. I'm not feeling wooed by that one. Cargo harbours also generate a lot of traffic. Ooh, something new. Good old Maverick. Yes, I'm with you. There's a lot of egg sucking going on here. Air cargo transport. Guess what's going to be said here, by the way, right? Air cargo transport becomes available when the airport is upgraded with a cargo terminal. So that's clearly one of the upgrades that is available for an airport, which adds an additional terminal exclusively for cargo transport, where cargo planes can pick up and offload their cargo. How many times can we use the word cargo in one sentence? Compared to cargo trains and ships, cargo airplanes are relatively low capacity, but they are the fastest option available and are not impacted by traffic in the city or reliant on available waterways. I wonder why that is. Oh my goodness me. But yes. Oh, hang on. Everybody stop. Matthew has got a serious request. Let's have a look. Would love to see water-based rescue services, including fireboats for fighting fires underwater and the shore. Yep, that's a serious request. Well done, Matthew. I'm with you. If I could do anything about that, I would. But yeah, Coast Guard and water-based fire, that kind of rescue. You know what? I like that idea. Matthew, you can have comment of the day. I don't have an award for it, but we'll just say you can have it, right? Crossrider, Bankai. No more monorails. I hope they come up with a better... I kind of want monorails. I don't need monorails. I don't... It's not the most important thing to me, but I kind of want monorails as an option. It's just be nice to be able to opt in on that. Anyways, right. And so Matthew talking about the high-rise ban. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with you on that. Right. So we read that. We can scroll down. Another airport image there, which again looks fine. We got some dotted rocks on the grass, which is fine, I guess. Nice looking airship. Aeroplane model. I mean, there's a lot to like here. Of course there's a lot to like here. Okay, and down. Now, okay, this new gameplay with transportation lines sounds like it's going to be amazing. It's okay, I think, from what we're getting here. Let's have a little read. In City Skylines, only buses, taxis and trams had depots. Trains and subway trains spawned directly from the stations once a line was created. In Cities Skylines II, each land-based public transportation type has a depot or a yard where vehicles are spawned and where their maintenance takes place. Each depot can support a predetermined number of vehicles, and this can be extended with suitable building upgrades. So you can have a limit to the amount of buses or trams or trains that you can actually have run on by your city, unless you build a second depot, which I'm sure has to be an option. So yes, you'll be managing your depots, making sure that you have enough depot space to maintain your city services. Very nice little addition there. Don't imagine it was the hardest thing to code in, but I'm really glad it's added. Then the line tool. The line tool functionality has been standardized to provide a more simple gameplay loop, thank goodness, right? Between all the different transportation options, including passenger and cargo transport. So yeah, when we're getting new transport, so bus, great, trains, great, monorail, great, blimp, whatever, they will all use the same system across all of them. So you don't need to learn something new when a new option becomes available. You just use your existing knowledge, and that is pretty cool. I'm going to skip this because it's all covered in the next paragraph. To create transportation lines for land-based vehicles, you first need to build the appropriate vehicle depot. So, build your depot, your train yard. Then build the stations and lay down the tracks. Buses traditionally use pre-existing road networks where stops are placed, but you can also create roads exclusively for public transport vehicles, such as buses, as well as priority lanes on existing roads, bus lanes. Yeah, nothing new there. Once the stops and stations have been placed and connected with roads and tracks, you can create transportation lines between the stops and the stations. So I guess apart from the fact that we now need to have train depots and subway depots, we kind of knew all this. Experienced City Skylines players will already know what they're doing here. They'll just be learning which buttons to press. But it looks like it's going to be very, very intuitive. Stops are highlighted when placing a transportation line, making them easy to find and select. So that's nice, actually. Yeah, if we're putting down a line for buses, it'll say, well, we've got bus stop here, and you can just go straight to them. This is very nice, rather than trying to find where the dots were on the map. In Cities Skylines 2, the line tool is more flexible when creating lines for road-based vehicles. When creating a bus line, you can set waypoints that control the routes taken by the bus from stop to stop, allowing it to avoid busy roads or intersections. The same stops and stations can accommodate multiple lines, but the increased amount of vehicles may lead to some congestion. So again, nothing we didn't know there. Basically, you put more buses on the roads, you're going to have more vehicles on the roads, but it'll take some vehicles off of the roads. So I don't know, maybe running them on quieter roads, which is something we're going to get to next, I think. Yes, we do. Waypoints. Waypoints can be placed while creating a line or afterwards to reroute your public transportation. So you don't need to put down a bus stop to force a vehicle to avoid an intersection. Like with this image here, we are deliberately avoiding this intersection, bringing it down this road and around. You can use a waypoint rather than have to put a bus stop down here and possibly causing even more clogging while people are boarding and removing. But yeah, waypoints is definitely, where are we? Setting waypoints is the best feature. Funnily enough, I did include that as my standout thing on the thumbnail for the video, because that was for me the one thing that stood out as being, the thing. Really good. Hi, Rina, or is it Raina? I'm going Rina. Rina Takagawa. What a great name you have. I love that. I probably butchered it because I'm guessing Japanese. I'm being very, very, very presumptuous. My Japanese is as good as my German, so sorry about that. But can you control where vehicles wait for distribution along the line? Ooh. There's nothing in the dev diary about it. We haven't got long to wait to find out. The worst case scenario is no. Maybe the modders will fix it. The best case scenario is maybe we can. But yeah, that's a very good... Do you know what? That is a great question. Right up there with water-based rescue services. That is... But it's very on point for the video, so thank you for that one. Similar to train stations, harbours need to be connected to the seaways with the Seaway tool. So basically what we know already, more or less. It's just new terms, right? After this, you can create ship lines travelling between the city and the outside connections, or between harbours in your city. So this is very much confirmed as being a form of ferry. It might be a bit overkill because those ships will carry a lot of people. But if you're looking for that, very nice. Airports are directly connected to the outside connections with the airplane line tool. No need for additional networks. So are we not going to have the airlines that we had before that we connect to? Or are we just going to a point in the air? I'm not sure. But looking at this image, it does look very much like we're just... This is an outside connection up here. I don't know. We'll see. Also, is that actually on the edge of map? Or is that just up here and above the hill? It's really quite hard to see. But yeah, there's some good stuff here. I'm sure if we scroll down here, we'll find some little niblets. But I'm going to save that for this week's City Skylines 2 o'clock. And see if this week's special guest can find any treats for us from the dev diary. Right, so connect your airport to one or multiple outside connections depending on your city's needs. Right, excuse me. In City Skylines, each transportation option was unlocked by reaching different population milestones. So, yep, small city, big city, bustling, whatever. I can't remember what the names were. But anyway, yeah, we have milestones and you got to the next level, and that meant that you could have the next thing. That has changed. That has changed. This resulted in similarly built cities, as each option was always unlocked at the same time. I've got to say that was a little bit frustrating, and I think why a lot of vanilla players went modded. I mean, there are many other reasons to go modded, but that was it was too linear, and you were so reliant on doing things in a specific order. This has changed. Anyway, regardless of the players needs to use them or not. In City Skylines 2, with the exceptions of buses and taxis, which unlock with the milestone progression, so basically you get them from the off, right? Buses and taxis, boom, day one. Each transportation type is unlocked using development points in the development tree for transportation. More on development points in a later development diary. You can select which types of transportation city your needs and unlock those to serve your vision of the greatest city on earth. So what I imagine this probably means, my first thought, is you would put down the bus route, and when you get to 5,000 passengers or 15,000 passengers, you score points or points for X number of passengers, and at some point you'll have enough points to be able to put down a different sort of transportation. So I imagine, yeah, development points was probably going to be through using, rather than the city size, through using public transportation. That's my thought. What have we got in the chat? Because I'm sure some of you have got your thoughts there. Right. Notice free placement of stops, no longer need them. Yes, that was annoying. The snapping to nodes, sometimes perfect, most times just not quite there. Anyways, am I the only one who... Hi, Flying Man. Am I the only one who got really disappointed knowing that the map will be smaller? It's not smaller. It depends on your perspective. We did cover this last week. Last week, Cities Skylines 2 o'clock, or the week before. It is bigger, but it's also possibly smaller. It's Schrodinger's map. It's way bigger than the original 9 tiles, because what we're comparing it with is launch City Skylines 1, because that's the best thing to compare it with. 441 tiles, 600 meters by 600 meters, is way bigger than 9 tiles and bigger than 25 tiles. It is smaller than 81 tiles, but we don't know that there isn't more land outside of those 441. If the 441 is the vanilla unlockable, it might be that we have way more space outside of that. So maybe it is bigger. We're speculating that it's not that much bigger. But yes, it's not. But like I say, it's not smaller. The tiles are smaller. The tiles are much smaller. But again, maybe that will allow for where I was saying way back that I thought the tiles are going to be hexagonal, which would allow for the cities not to be so blocky. But if you're working with smaller tiles, also your city won't be so blocky because smaller pixels, right? You know, if you've got 15 mile by 15 mile tiles, you're going to end up with square city. If you've got 1 meter by 1 meter tiles, you're going to end up with whatever shape you want. So 600 meters by 600 meters seems small, but it does mean that you're going to be able to have more of a city the shape that you want it to be. Right, so development points are liking game achievements. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you've built a brand new hospital. Have some points for that. I like that idea. Fly. Oh yeah, yeah. Finally caught me live. Welcome. Let me know if the stream drops. It's been notoriously unreliable lately. So yeah, let me know if it goes. Right. Never played without everything unlocked. It's a silly setup. Yes, this is up on 3 cities I played 100% vanilla just to learn the mechanics. I think it's important to learn the mechanics. And the best way to do that is by playing 100% vanilla. And then once I cracked the mechanics and I learned how to beat the budget, it just didn't seem worth doing anymore. But then, of course, the workshop opens up so much more, and the game just bounds away, doesn't it? Right. Hope you don't start nickel and diming. Yeah. Chris. That is a concern. I've got to say, Paradox are renowned for that business model, and there's a limit to what you can milk out of your player base. So yes, it's a little worry, but we'll see. You know, it is what it is. You don't have to have every bit of DLC, but I want it. Anyway, Flying Man, but I've got that. Perspective matters. It's not smaller. It's bigger than 25 tiles. It's smaller than 81 tiles. I couldn't really... Yeah, indeed. Except for agent limits look like they're going now. So that'd be great. Embryo. Oh, what another great name. We've got some really great names here. Embryo. The edge of the map looks different. Yes, I have briefly covered that at the end of last week's Cities Skylines 2 o'clock. Edge of map does look different. I haven't really got a clue what's going on. Just wild speculation, but given my hexagon speculation was way wild, we'll see. We'll find out. But at the moment, it looks... Well, it's different. I'm not saying it looks odd. It looks odd because it's not what we're used to. Yeah, the map size. Yeah, well, the numbers are right. The numbers are right, but yes, it'd be interesting to see about what goes on outside of the 441 tiles, whether or not that is ever unlockable. Maybe the thing is, maybe we won't even want to. Maybe we'll be so engrossed in the city as it is. Maybe it's a perfectly balanced game. Okay, we're dreaming. They confirm there are no hard agent limits. Yeah, agent limits, no hard agent limits. There might be building limits. We know there is a limit of 4,000 buildings, but I think that is building types. But if you've got 4,000 different sorts of buildings, you're doing well. Okay? And you can repeat some of these over. You don't have to have 4,000 different buildings in your city. But yeah. So where are we? There are no hard agent limits made bigger with mods, possibly. We'll see. Just hope Rico is modded in quickly. I need to have control over every building. Yes, don't we all? Too many maybes. Listen, we're lucky they're giving us anything this far ahead. But yeah, great teasers. Great for whetting the appetite, isn't it? Right, okay, where were we? Had I finished reading this? I have finished reading this one, haven't I? Yes, good. Right, let's move on. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Transportation overview. The transportation info view gathers all the pertinent information about both passenger and cargo traffic, which is separated into 2 categories. The passenger transportation data includes the number of lines present in the city, as well as the number of tourists transported and the overall number of passengers transported in a month per transport type. The number of cargo lines is listed in the cargo section of the info view panel. The panel also includes the amount of cargo transported in tons, that's confirmed. Transport is recorded in tonnage per month and per transport type. So basically what we're saying is we've got info views, right? We've got info views of all the lines. All the stuff that Transport Fever had, Cities Skylines is at least dabbing its toe in the water. Pardon me for my coughing here. I'll be fine. So yeah, the good to see, really good to have, and yeah, it was much needed extra depth to the game. Furthermore, the transportation info view highlights all the lines running in the city, as well as how many they're carrying. Very nice indeed. Good to see. Right, you can customize what is shown in the info view. Yeah, okay, so fully customizable as well. Little tick boxes down here. So I'm not interested in ship ports. I want to know more information on subway stops. You can pull up the information that you need to run your city more efficiently. Hi Pavel, good to have you here. Unlock all tiles from day one. Good luck with that one. You may need a mod for that, maybe. Right, the transportation overview panel includes details of all transportation lines, divided into two main categories: passenger and cargo transportation, which are further divided into transport types. The panel gives a quick overview of the most important details of each line at a single glance. Lines can be renamed, nice, activated and deactivated, and their identifying colour changed in the overview panel. Each line's details are accessible by clicking on the line details button. This opens the line panel where more adjustments can be made. The overview panel is very handy, especially when checking the line usage percentages while optimizing the different transportation types. So we're talking more in depth, being able to rename, check each line, activate, deactivate, just control over cargo lines. Right, so are included. Yep. The only one that we haven't seen any clue of just yet is Move It. Not seeing anything in the toolbars, but it might be that you only, I've said this before, you may only need to click on a building to be able to adjust its position. Maybe. Or maybe that's not going to work at all. I don't know. But it's a thought. You've got some dotted around, you know? Or you can just go crazy. Surprised you did not mention anything with the ticket price mechanism they have included in this. This is true. Nothing's mentioned, but we do know ticket prices can be set. Though, mind you, ticket prices were covered in the previous dev diary. So, yeah, we kind of had it covered, even though they are teaching us how to suck eggs mostly through this dev diary. Major mode transport, at least, yeah. Well, they are. They are useful. Oh, the screen just heck up. Oh, let me just check the stream. Let me have a look. Are we still? Uh-huh. Have we? Are we back? Are we back? Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. I think we're back. We're back. Oh, goodness me. Yes. That's a bit of a stress there. Yeah. Right. Well, good news is we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've had some really, really dodgy uploads recently. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Right, good. Right, so yeah, where were we? So the stream has been fixed, and I'm up to date with the chat. Thanks for everybody for letting me know that. Always good. It makes me I'm able to react pretty quickly. So if it does go down, we're pretty much near the end now anyway. But if it does go down, we'll just do a restart, and I'll allow like everybody 5 minutes or so to catch back up and log back in. Right, so the line panel features information about the lines such as their length, number of stops, and current passengers, as well as their line usage percentage. A line can also be renamed in the panel, and you can change the vehicle models per line if alternative options are available, which is exactly what we need, right? So loving this. So yeah, we've got ticket price is covered here. So that is $8 I know what that we're gonna have to come up with a name for the coins. Colossal dollars possibly. This is the CO Tram, right? The length of the line here, it's saying 8.7 kilometers, 13 stops, 506 passengers, line usage is 53%, assigned vehicles 4 of 14, active vehicles 4, and then you can set whether you have it day, night, or day and night, and we've chosen a lovely fluorescent green colour for the line colour. I'm guessing this is to turn off this little power button, so switching the line on and off. But this is very nice, being able to see exactly where your vehicles are on the line. So we've got one up at this stop, we've got one down at this stop, one around here as well. Expensive chirpy cents. Oh, don't. I absolutely hate that bird. I hate it. I know it's the symbol of the but oh, just no, please no, don't make me do that. Hi Gerard, you're late. Where have you been? You missed the panic as the stream went down, but the stream saved itself, bless it. Right, we're still going. Let's keep reading. Excuse me again. In the line panel, you can also fine-tune the functionality of a transportation line. For public transportation lines, the options include the ticket price, the number of vehicles running on the line, the line's operating hours. I've just told you all this from the picture. For cargo lines, you are able to adjust the number of vehicles as well as the operating hours. Eggs being sucked again. Ticket price affects citizens' pathfinding calculations, citizens' wait time, travelling comfort and money as they choose their opening options. Sorry, their opening options. Where that came from. Their travelling options, and while time and comfort are important aspects in these calculations, money can sway them between public transportation and private vehicle usage. So again, I like the idea of, and I've said this about 3 zillion times, but I'm going to say it a 3 zillion and 1th time, and that would be to have an out of town free car park, that kind of thing, and then provide a really cheap park and ride bus service to bring people into the city, providing that will just enable like just freer traffic. Yeah, I like the idea of it. Park and ride, gotta love it. Adjusting the number of vehicles on a line is a good way to answer the changing traffic patterns as the city grows. If a line becomes extremely popular, i.e. its usage percentage close to 100%, increasing the number of vehicles can alleviate the pressure and shorten the passenger wait times at stops and stations, which in turn affect their pathfinder calculations as well. Adjusting the number of vehicles per line also makes sure that the depot's fleet is used optimally and that there are enough vehicles to go around. So yeah, if your line is getting full, put more vehicles on it. So, duh. More egg sucking. Anyway, we got to the end. That's all we have for you today. We hope this development diary has given you a sense of how you can integrate public and cargo transportation into your cities in Cities Skylines II. What's your favourite public transportation option? Okay, we'll answer that in our chat. Right, what's your favourite public transportation option? I'm going to say bicycles. And we're not getting them, not at first. Of what we've seen so far, I mean, gotta love trams, but I'm gonna say taxis. I think taxis add a little bit of a dynamic that you don't get from any of the other. Oh, and of course, smart cars. Does anybody know if there's any smart cars in the game? Because I've not seen any yet. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, sorry. Well, you were at training. Oh, no, don't worry, Gerard. Don't worry about that. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. Matthew, not my cup of tea. Apologies to Biffa. And the spiffing Brit. CO could introduce some real-life promotions to transit pricing for encouraging use by locals. And yeah, there's always that. For example, making cross-line transfers free, selling tourist transit passes that save tourists money, changing prices on the weekends. Do you know what? Really good ideas. Really good ideas. And they may be in at some point, and they may be moddable at some point. Or you might just have to do it by hand. Yes, definitely Nike. Definitely Nike. And also Bikey. Bikey. A Nike Bikey. Then definitely helicopters because they're cool. Yes, not practical. We can't all have a helicopter. What about the Ghost Rider? Oh wow! No, he ran past about an hour ago. It shook the building to its foundations. Those who were here at the time will remember him. Can we confirm there are none? What? Push bikes not on game release. We can confirm that. There are no push bikes on game release. Taxis, I think it's going to be the nearest in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Foot. Foot is probably the closest to a push bike, but in terms of the mechanics of a push bike, being able to go from point A to point B, specific areas, taxi would be the nearest. But yeah, not yet. Clearly developed by somebody who lives in New York and not somebody who lives in Amsterdam. Want to know if the underground metro lines have interiors. Oh, look. Rainer, stop it. You're wetting us. You're wetting us with too many things. Oh, network extensions 2 interiors would be amazing. Network extensions 2 style interiors would be amazing. I do hope taxis are more useful than in CS1. I have the feeling that in CS1 they don't make much of an impact. No, yeah. Well, the thing is, I think they do say this in the dev diary today, in that they are low capacity. Yes, you can have more taxis, but they're only going to carry 3 or 4 people maximum. So they're going to be low impact, but they can have purpose. You can actually find a use for them, depending on what part of the city you are. And I don't have a problem with taxis. I like the idea of taxis. Motorbikes. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, on a serious note, I'm guessing, looking forward to taxis and upgradable buildings. With you, I'm with you. The upgradable buildings, I really like it. I'm just hoping that it won't become a question of we don't upgrade the building because we don't like the model that's being used. How many different variations of, is a railway station going to look the same as a different railway station, because we all have to give them exactly the same upgrades for them to operate as we want them to. So I think there's going to be a few, but it's going to make it a lot of fun for modders, those assetteers out there who like giving us railway stations and power stations. They're going to have a few new things to learn, I think, to make it all come together. Yes, I have me sarcastic. I don't know what you mean. That might be sarcasm. I like the taxis because they add a realism. Also, the idea of setting ticket prices because of flexibility. Yep, I'm all with that. Will there be black cabs? Well, we had to, vanilla-wise, we had to wait until the final year to get black cabs, didn't we? So, to be fair, that was Bisquickelhausen's content creator pack, wasn't it? I believe Bisquickelhausen did those, I think. Honestly, I didn't like the model. Sorry, Bisquickle. Great creator, great trains, whatever. Did not like the black cab model. That was just me. But that said, I wasn't in the market for a content creator pack for the vehicles of the world, so I wasn't going to buy it anyway. So it didn't matter. But had I bought it, I don't think I would have used the black cab. No push bikes. No. E-bikes, I think that would come under push bikes at some point. Good to see no mobility scooters on the freeways. Because that was, yeah. Yellow cabs in America, black in Europe. Yeah. Oh, there's a thought. Yeah, when you set the roads and the location, maybe we do get black. But the thing is, black cabs, mostly London. My hometown, the corporate ones are white, but hometown, sorry, my father's hometown, they're blue. So, but in London, yeah, the famous black cab is a London black cab. Excuse me, croaking away here. Uber and other ride shares have wrecked black cabs and traditional taxis. There's a degree of that. Hi, Arex Imnidia. Come on. You can read BonBonB. Arex Imnida. There we go. Hey, I come on time. Well, barely. Barely. We're nearly done. It's funny. You do not play the game, but I like it and I want to play it in the future. Well, Cities Skylines II is, while we're going to be moaning, groaning, grumbling about stuff, because let's face it, we're human beings. We like to moan and groan and grumble about stuff. And, I do hope this is good. Yeah, we're going to do that. The information that we're getting is limited. The game is still in development and will be up until after the game is released, because patches, and we know that, and then DLCs, we know that. We're going to be moaning, but what I'm seeing so far, I am sold on. I am really liking what I'm seeing. I'm really liking what I'm hearing. I'm really liking the information we're getting, the little video clips. It's a huge upgrade. Cannot wait to get my hands on it. And I will be playing vanilla for the first however long while I learn the mechanics. But yes, it's a great game. In the old game, the Cities Skylines 1, it's a great time to get into. If you don't play Cities Skylines 1 now is a good time to get in on it, because with no more updates coming, possibly a patch at some point, maybe, but with no major updates coming, there's going to be nothing to break the mods. So the mods are going to become stable. The modding scene out there might quieten off a bit because people are going to be moving on to Cities Skylines 2, but Cities Skylines 1 is going to become stable, and it will be cheap. Just get it when it's on sale anyway, but it's going to be cheap. You're going to be able to have a world of experience to draw on from YouTubers and bloggers and Reddit posts and whatever. Cities Skylines 1 now, if you don't know that you want to get into Cities Skylines 2, 1 is the one to look at. Jump in. It's cheap and it's huge, and you really got to. If you've got a PC capable of running it, you should definitely have a look at it. Anyway, maybe asset creators can we just say asseteers? Thank you very much. can create modular replacements for the upgradable buildings. I imagine that is going to be a thing they can do without too much problem. Old players who know CS1 will groan, but new players, it's promising. Well, yes. I mean, we're going to moan. We'll moan no matter what. And we'll be blown away when we start playing Cities Skylines 2, and within 2 months we'll be moaning, because that's what we do. That's what we do. But at the end of the day, what I'm seeing here, I am really liking. Excited about CS2. Oh, sorry, I've skipped some. Hi, ZK Gaming, or ZK Gaming, possibly. Hi, good to have you along. Oh, yeah, to Colossal Order's credits, they listened to many of their fans' suggestions and requests. Yes, absolute to their credit. We're never going to be 100% happy. I want push bikes from the off. I'm not going to be happy about that. But that's one thing I'm not happy about, and a million things that I am so far from what I'm seeing. So yeah, credits. They have listened, and not only that, they have got a few of the big name modders. They've got at least a couple on the team. Ivania, top asset creator. She's ambassador now. So we're getting people that play the game seriously and love the game to a serious level, actually involved in the creation process, alongside the people that love the game because they make the game. So we're getting the real combination that they can't go far wrong. If you got the big net, was it Muxergy? Wasn't he one of the modders that is now on the payroll? He's going to just bring a passion. And if you've got somebody like him, and let's say if they come and say, we've got a really good idea, and he'll look and he'll raise the eyebrow and say, excuse me, that's a really bad idea. and yeah, they might still go away ahead with it anyway, but having that sort of person behind the scenes is exactly what a game needs for development. Anyway, can't wait. Definitely upgrading the first. Definitely buy and have a look forward to the next video. Yeah, coming. I think we're I'm skipping over here a few bits here. Excited about Cities Skylines 2. Wondering if some assets will be modded into the game, because since most use Blender, I am pretty sure modders will be able to upload old assets. This is the thing. I did raise this one in my video. Was it top 10 things or top 12 things I want from Cities Skylines 2? And one of them, I think, if this could be incorporated, and I can imagine a modder doing this, to be able to import existing Cities Skylines models. We know that they're going to have different stats, whereas these models clearly will have a lot more information, a lot more. Whereas we used to have like a pollution generator number, and there's a lot more depth. So we won't be able to import the information, this sort of data, but the model itself we should be able to import. It's in theory the same. So being able to import models of existing buildings off of the workshop, or even DLCs, and then just have maybe some base settings that we can maybe adjust using Rico. That will just instantly give us hundreds of thousands of buildings that we can use, rather than have to rely on modders to re-up their buildings with settings. I can see a modder doing that. Like we've got Skive now, a mod which just attaches to the side of City Skylines, enables us to bring in stuff. It's speculation on my behalf, but it's got to be possible. It's got to be possible. Right, hearing you now while playing. Finally getting into the mod, got the mod stable. Yes, indeed. It's getting the mod stable. I've got some mod issues at the moment. Those who are watching the top 100 maps of all time will know that. But I'm not sweating on this one. If I was just doing my own city build, I would have stable mods by now. But because I'm switching between different maps that have old setups, new setups. Some are a bit glitchy, others aren't. I'm not spending hours fixing each and every one. I can't do it. So we're just going to zoom through to the top 10. Getting there. First person view. Absolutely need the first person view. My goal is to mod the Sims animation on Cities Skylines, so we can play the Sims. Play the Sims. Well, we got was it Life by You or whatever they've called this Sims killer. Maybe they'll all tie in together. Maverick, I heard from many asset makers, and they think they would rather make the building again with better textures. Oh, well, there you go. Well, it'd still be nice, though, to be able to. I mean, if they want to re-up their buildings with better textures, great. But I still think, yeah, just having the option to be able to port in some CS1 buildings and then put in our own required numbers. Hi, Alex, 1066. I'm guessing you're in the UK. There's a clue in there somewhere. And so anyway, yeah. Do you know what? I think that was it was a pretty good dev diary. I don't think it was quite as exciting as the first two. Takeaways from this one were the waypoints. Definitely the waypoints, I think, is a very neat little addition. Do like the line tool overview. That's looking very good. I don't think there wasn't really too much more that really got me excited with this one. Some of the screenshots are very nice. That one, I'm not really on this one, but there we go. But I like that one. I like some of the others. I'm liking the airport, liking the takeoff and landing. The angle of attack by that plane is much more believable. Although, where's that runway? How did it get that angle? I don't know where that's come from. That'll be interesting. Smart cars. Do you know smart cars are in the game? Who knew? Oh, you're in New Mexico with 1066 in the name. Deary, deary, deary. No, listen, 1066. It's a very UK number, all right? It was the last time that these islands were successfully invaded. And that was the Norman conquest. And since then, we've had stability. We've never had a successful invasion. So, yeah, well, until migration. all the current migration. We're getting invaded at the moment by people in boats, little boats, coming across here for free healthcare. Bless them. But anyway, hello to New Mexico. Definitely not the UK. But Life by You, that was it. Life by You, the map building option is not even near CS. I've not really looked too much into, to be honest with you, I've not really followed Battle of Hastings. Yes, that's the one. Not a million miles from where I live. Battle of Hastings, well, you know, the Battle of... There you go. Useless trivia for you. Battle of Hastings wasn't in Hastings. It's a location which is now known as Battle. There we go. So if you come to the UK to don't go to Hastings to see the location of the Battle of Hastings. You want to go to Battle, which is near Hastings, and you're back. Indeed. At least no uninvited invasion. Well, yes, that's the one. Well, we don't invite them. They're just jumping on little blow-up boats and coming across the most dangerous shipping route in the world. It's not a clever thing. Not a clever thing. But anyway, right, on that note, I think we're about done. I don't think there's an awful lot more from this week. We will do What's Map tomorrow night. We've got a couple of maps, hopefully with a stable stream. We'll be able to check both of them out. We've got the top 100 maps coming up throughout the week. And then Cities Skylines 2 o'clock on Saturday, where I'll get a special guest along and we'll talk through a little bit more on this dev diary, plus any other news that's cropped up in the last few days. I think we're about there. You feel much smarter now. Doesn't take much, eh? Um, oh, Americans are still sore about the British invasion in the 1960s. Well, we need to help out American culture along every now and then. To be fair, the last 30 years has all been, well, pretty much all been American culture coming across to the UK. So it goes both ways, doesn't it? William III was invited to invade a couple of centuries ago. Yep, indeed. Did I notice motorcycles running by themselves in the game? Yes, yeah. Let's be fair, right? It's still an early version of the game. We're 16 weeks away. Modelling a rider to go on top of a motorbike, not the world's biggest thing, much as modelling new vehicles to replace smart cars or be part of the smart car generation. There's a long way to go. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, motorbikes without passengers, there are going to be lots of little glitchy things, right? I know that. Right, okay, I'm going to wind this up. It's been a lot of fun. I don't have an outro, so we will be going straight to a stream end. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who joined me today. I'm not going to read through any of the names. Hopefully I've given everybody a shout out who has used the chat. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. Bob, I see Bob. I like taxis because they add to realism. Excuse me. I may have read your comment but not mentioned your name, Bob. I apologise. Yes, it's been a good one. I've really enjoyed today, apart from where the stream nearly went down. But I've had a really good time. So anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Shout out to all the BonBonB buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership for supporting the channel. If you've made it this far, make sure you've hit the like button, because that will just help the algorithms know that this is a worthy stream that they should show to other people. Maybe that would be good. Right, I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee for this tickly throat. That'll fix that one. I've been talking for too long. Anyway, I've been BonBonB. You have been very, very welcome. Thanks for everything that you do for me. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.